I understand this is going to be like, the pot calling the kettle black to some people, especially my friends. They are definitely going to make fun of this upload, and they'd be someone who would comment something like that under this. So thank you guys. But I want to talk about the male manipulator trend going on, because I feel like it's very popular right now. I feel like a lot of people are talking about male and female manipulators. They like Deftones, they like energy drinks, they play guitar, all things that I do, admittedly. And I think it's just really interesting because I'm like watching these videos, and my friends will send these videos to me, and they're like, dude, this is you. And I'm like, no, it's not me. Unless I'm an OG male manipulator, and I was never aware of it until now, and I'm kind of having this awakening. I don't know. Let's look into these videos, and I want to watch some of these videos and just talk about how I feel like it's kind of like the new performative male going on currently, which now we have a new term for performative male called LARPing that is going on the internet. It's always changing, so I don't know. I have a variety of Instagram videos that we are going to look through. I have a whole folder, whole collection, and we're going to talk about what makes a male manipulator a male manipulator. So let's do this. Okay, so I have my folder right here. You guys are going to be able to see it on screen. Male manipulator posts for video. And we're going to click on the first one. That's it. No more Mr. Nice Guy. I am now a performative male manipulator who drinks matcha and listens to Claro and Biba Doobie. Now, Claro, Biba Doobie, they are popular artists right now. I like some of their music. This video is kind of building a case against myself, I guess, but that's why it's going to be so fun to make. I like some of their songs. I'm not the biggest fan of them. But they make kind of, I would define them as like the indie bedroom pop. If you guys know that genre that was just like super popular in 2020 and like 2019 and 2021, I'd say even bled into 2022 some. That's kind of the music they make. And their music is, I would say it's mainly targeted towards women. And so a lot of guys will say, oh, I really like this artist, to be performative and to kind of just be like, oh yeah, she's got to think it's impressive that I listen to Biba Doobie. I want to say, I don't think I'm one of those people. I listen to people like, I've listened to, like, I've listened to, people like Billie Eilish and, Olivia Rodrigo, people like that for years. So I would say that the matcha part is also very important because apparently matcha is a huge male manipulator thing. Once again, I don't think matcha's bad. It's not my favorite drink to get at a cafe, but I don't think it's terrible. It tastes like grass, and I go moo. So we have another one here, Male Manipulator Starter Pack, and it has In Rainbows, OK Computer. It has The Bins, Jeff Buckley Grace, and Around the Fur by Deftones. It also has just like a very wide array of like stereotypes, like the little three face, the heart emoticon, smiley, sad face. I won't leave you unless you leave me. I love goth girls. Meow. I love cats. Only follows goth girls. You're so silly. It has a lot of crazy X's. It has never felt this way about anybody before. I also like The Walking Dead, and they dress in that like 2000s skater attire. I'd say this one is definitely more accurate to like what a male manipulator is actually like, especially the "I love goth girls" quote. That's another issue on the internet entirely, where there's kind of on goth women, and I think it's very prominent in the male manipulator sort of sphere, where that's all they talk about, and that's all they want to be with. I think there's people out there who genuinely, do like the culture and do think it's interesting. Kind of like with the performative male thing, where I think there's genuinely people who do like read outside and they do like Claro, Biba Doobie, people like that. It's so few and far between, And I think people are a little afraid to show that because then they're immediately going to be categorized in, one of these losers over here that you see on the screen right now. So, I love cats. I think that one's a bit of an unfair statement. I love cats too. I know a lot of people that love cats. I think that's kind of pushing it a little bit. I think you're really reaching for something to make this guy seem bad. You're so silly. I could see where that one might come off as a little male manipulator-ish, maybe. Dude, I don't know. I have a life. I mean, there's times I'll say like to my friends, like you're silly, bro, or whatever. Like if I wanna joke and be funny, I will say that. I will say that. I will, as a male manipulator myself, I'll say that. Liking Jujutsu Kaisen and The Walking Dead, I mean, they're popular TV shows. I wouldn't say you're necessarily a male manipulator if you like those. The clothing style, I could say that might come off as a little performative if you wear it like once or twice or you're like constantly posting about it. But there's people who genuinely wear that, and I think it's a cool style. I would wear it myself. I could rock it, but I can't. I don't have the look for it really. Also noticed that they're into UFC and Roblox. Yeah, I think that's UFC. Nah, Roblox. Everybody plays Roblox. I mean, every man is destined to play a Roblox game with his girlfriend at some point. Liking Korn, Slipknot. I wouldn't really say that's necessarily a male manipulator trait. I'm not the biggest fan of either of them. I think they're decent. Using the wired earbuds. You are either broke if you use wired earbuds or you want to be performative. That is for sure a performative manipulator trait. Like I'm not using wired earbuds for the fun of it. I'm using them because I want someone to be like, "Oh wow, this guy, he uses wired earbuds in a world full of people who use wireless. Oh my gosh, Liking Rainbow Six Siege is definitely a male manipulator trait. The worst men I have ever known in my life played Rainbow Six Siege religiously. I had a phase with Rainbow Six Siege, and at one point I was the worst man in my life that I knew, so that's true. Male manipulator core at number 2. Likes guts, likes Shadow the Hedgehog, has a berserk tattoo, loves Diary of Pun Pun, plays guitar, drinks Monster Energy, wears I forgot what the hats are called. I'll look it up and I'll put it here. Once again, loves Around the Fur and the Bins by Radiohead. But they also wear Converse, go to the gym, and they wear rings. This is kind of what I mean, where it's kind of broad, like the categorization of a male manipulator. There's some sort of common themes, like the liking Deftones, liking Radiohead, and liking Berserk and going to the gym, I've noticed. I think a lot of guys, just seeing it on the internet, yeah, I think a lot of them are influencers and they just go to the gym to kind of like show off, like, oh, I go to the gym and I'm cool, I'm a big, strong, tough guy. And a lot of guys, they don't go to the gym because they generally just want to get strong and they genuinely just want to improve. I have a little at-home gym set up and I work out just because I want to be, the best version of myself I can be as healthy as I possibly can. But there are people that work out just to attract women more. So I do think that can be true depending on context. However, liking Deftones and Radiohead, and maybe this is just me speaking, I'm not much of a Radiohead fan, but I do love Deftones. But I want to say, I loved Deftones for like 5 years. I got really into them around quarantine. And since then, they've been one of my favorite bands. They're like my second favorite band right behind Bad Flower. And I love the Smashing Pumpkins. And I love a bunch of other people. And that's a video for another day. So I think it is unfair to be like, oh, this guy loves Deftones. He's a male manipulator. This guy loves working out. He's a male manipulator. Or he plays guitar. He's a male manipulator. Now you have to ask yourself, what level of guitar playing is he at? I've been playing for a few years. And I'm going to be honest, I'm dog shit. I'm not great at guitar. I can play songs that I want to learn. I can play, what I enjoy. But I can't do, like, the super complicated things like that. But I learned guitar because ever since I was a kid, I've wanted to learn how to play guitar. So once again, it's one of those things where it's just, there's an intention attached to it. There's this intention behind it. Did they learn guitar to pick up women? Or did they learn guitar because they genuinely have a passion for the instrument? There's another theme. I want a goth emo Asian girl, and I'm scared of women. I mean, if a guy does say these things, like unironically, like he says, I'm scared of women, he probably is a loser. He probably, I'm just saying it straight up, he probably is a guy that manipulates men or women on occasion. And like, I get it, dude. When you find a woman pretty, you might be a little scared to talk to her. I've been in that position before. But to just be like, oh, I'm scared of women. Oh my gosh, guys, women are so scary. Like, dude, how old are you? You have to grow up at a certain point. We're all adults. Some of us are. I don't know. I'm becoming unstatus quick, guys. There's also, of course, liking the Batman and Patrick Bateman, and I think those things were more true a couple years ago with the whole like Sigma funk edits Instagram and TikTok era that was really rampant. So I think that one was a little more true a couple years ago. We're a little late to that one. One that's interesting, which I've never seen this, is Diary of Pimpyon being mentioned. I've never seen that be like a male manipulator thing. I've read Diary of Pimpyon, and I really like it. It's a really good manga. I think it's really entertaining, and it's, really sad and has a lot of dark themes. I haven't read the whole thing, I'll admit, so maybe that's performative of me, but I have 4 books over there that you can't see, so I have almost the whole set. I just need to buy the other ones and read the rest of it, but I enjoy it. I think it's a really good manga. Once again, Male Manipulator Core. Fableverse, never heard of that before. White Monster is a huge one. And Valorant, I'm emotionally unavailable. Andrew Tate uses ChatGPT. Starboy, Discord, You Deserve Better, You're Different, Loves Goth Women, Has a Mullet, Wears Change, chains, stuff like that. The White Monster one, that is one that is very popular, and I'm surprised it took me this long to mention it. But apparently, male manipulators love White Monster. Apparently, white guys love White Monster. I'm going to be honest. I'm a Monster energy drinker myself. And I have actually made it a challenge recently to try all of the flavors. I've tried about 10 so far, and I'm getting really burnt out of it. And White Monster, I'm going to be honest, dude, it's not that good. It's okay. It's nice. It's a good baseline energy drink. Like, if you don't want anything too crazy, it's a good pick, but it's not my favorite. I think a lot of people genuinely have started drinking Monster because it's like a performative thing to do and it's cool, where I've started drinking it because I'm interested in trying energy drinks, and I've loved energy drinks again for like years and stuff now. So seeing people be like, oh, like you like this energy drink, you're manipulative. Yeah, kind of unfair to me. Spotify being on here is weird. Like, are you saying that he's manipulative because he uses Spotify instead of like Apple Music? Like now we're just degrading people because of the app they use. A lot of Radiohead, Steve Lacy, Smiths, Tyler the Creator, more Tyler the Creator. See, and it's just like videos like this too, where it kind of puts people in a bubble because someone can genuinely love these albums and not be a terrible person. Now, of course, you could maybe be like, oh, everyone I've known who loves these albums, they're a terrible person. And in that case, you have like this, prejudice against people who like said albums. But that's the thing about the internet. And the point I'm generally trying to get across with this video, and I'll go more into it at the end, is I feel like the internet just kind of groups everyone in this bubble, and it teaches you to kind of react like, ugh, if someone likes a certain thing. Like if someone's like, oh, I like Radiohead, they're one of my favorite bands. Because of trends like this, you're going to be like, you like Radiohead? Where in real life, if you tell somebody, I like Radiohead, 90% chance they're going to be like, oh, that's cool. What's your favorite song from them? You're going to say, No Surprises. And they're going to be like, oh, that's a great song. They're not going to be like, that's one of their popular ones. You male performative manipulator. We're talking about the women of the industry now. Claro Listening Boy blocked, Biba Doobie Boy blocked, Lofty Listening Boy blocked, Maria's blocked, Radiohead blocked. Yeah. Once again, some more popular names of some big women in the music industry. It's just saying, you listen to these people, you're blocked. You listening to these people, you're a male manipulator. I don't trust you. This is one of my favorite ones. I kind of just put this one in here because it's funny. It's one of my favorite videos of all time. I repost this thing like once every month when I see it. When gang accuses you of being a male manipulator for listening to Laufey and Claro, but you're low-key just gay. Now, I have nothing to say. Say hello to my cat, guys. Oh, he's really scared. Oh, ugh, he's really scared. But again, this, like I said, this will put people in a bubble of, if you like this thing, you're gonna be ridiculed. You're gonna be told like, oh, you like this thing? Oh, I better run away. You know, this just kind of goes in the same point where, like, I feel like it's really hard, maybe not for some people, but I feel like it's really hard to define who is being manipulative, who is being performative, and who is not being. And it's definitely different on the internet versus real life, because on the internet, everyone's put in this kind of bubble, and everyone is kind of, I guess, for lack of a better term, stereotyped in one way or another. And on the internet, and even in real life, we unconsciously perform. Like, we act a little bit different depending on the people we're hanging out with. One friend, you're going to have a little bit of a different personality. Another friend, you're going to have a little bit of different of a personality. And then some friends, you can be the truest form of yourself possible. And maybe how you act with those friends is the truest form of yourself. You never know. But like when you're talking to a stranger, when you're talking to a girl you think is cute, when you're talking to, a guy that you think is cute, you're going to act a little different. You're going to put on a little bit of a mask. You're going to be yourself, ultimately. But, you literally put on a little, like a show, kind of like a jester, so you will seem a little bit more impressive. As long as you don't go over the top, or you go like male manipulator territory like we've been talking about, I don't think that's a bad thing. In fact, that's a really normal thing. Like, you're naturally going to perform a little bit for someone you're interested in. You're going to want that person to look at you and be like, oh, they like this thing that I like? And that's natural. That's very natural to sometimes just like things because you want other people to be like, wow, they like that. It gives you like this sense of accomplishment, I guess. And I do that sometimes. I'll be honest. There's times I'll say, oh, I like this thing, and I don't really know that much about it, but I will say I like it to keep the conversation going. I will say I like it so that somebody will like me. And I think that's just something we all do. Of course, there's a certain threshold where it does become manipulative. It does become a problem. But like I said, there's an issue with that, like saying like, oh, these general statements like, I love cats, I like Deftones, I like Radiohead, I like White Monster, I like working out. They kind of become buzzwords almost. And like, if you talk to somebody who is chronically online, they're probably going to try to shoo you away. But if you talk to someone who isn't chronically online, chances are they're going to be like, oh, that's cool, man. Oh, yeah, I like that thing too. Not everyone acts like the internet, especially depending on the area you live in. It's going to be very different. So in general, I just want to say, I think there's some truth to these posts sometimes, but they are greatly exaggerated. And please understand that just because you like Claro or Biba Doobie, or you listen to, I don't know, Billie Eilish and you drink matcha sometimes, that's okay, man. As long as you're not being a terrible person, that's okay. Same for women, there's like female manipulators. I just talked about male manipulators mostly because, well, I'm a guy and I've been seeing a lot of it. And but I've been seeing the female manipulator videos, and a lot of those are also not particularly true in the same case of male manipulators. Typically, you're just a bad person if you fall under one of those categories. Anyway, guys, I'm Neem. I just wanted to talk about this thing real quick. I thought it was a little interesting on the internet. If there's any other trends, any other things you want me to talk about, let me know. I'm down to do this. In fact, I'm trying to transition my content a bit more to this, I guess, casual talking about things I find interesting instead of the heavily scripted and stuff like that. I'm kind of getting tired of that style of content of just heavily scripting something and then making like a video game review. It's kind of getting old. So yeah, here we go. See ya.